Tell us about the REI Bookkeepers.
Cool. So the REI Bookkeepers is super straightforward. REI stands for real estate investment or real estate investor. And so we strictly do bookkeeping for real estate investors.
Were you in the real estate investor business before you got into this, or how did you get into starting this company?
Yeah, specifically too around like the bookkeeping part of it. That seems like not only real estate but bookkeeping. It's a really finite niche that you got into. So curious to hear that.
Yeah, so we definitely got to a fork in the road. I'm a younger dude. I'm 25. So straight out of high school / college, I got into the welding industry. I was a welder, welding inspections, doing that whole thing. Decided I wanted to get into sales and business. Ended up moving from my small town down here to Phoenix, Arizona. And within about 2 years, I got connected with a real estate investment company down here who primarily flipped houses and they wholesaled. So a flip, you actually buy the house, you pay your contractors, you demo the house, you put nice finishes in, and then you sell it for more than you buy it for. And then a wholesale is you pretty much contract a property, and then before you close on that property, you find an end buyer. So let's say you buy a property for $100,000, you find an investor that wants to buy it for like 110 because they can still flip it for like 200. And so you just make a quick 10 grand. So that's wholesaling. And so those are the two primary investment strategies that they had. And with them, there's two parts to wholesaling. There's acquisitions, which is, hey, we need to buy properties, right? We need to get them under contract. And then there's dispositions, meaning we need to sell the property so we can make that $10,000 spread. I started out on acquisitions and buying the properties, negotiating with sellers, finding motivated sellers, all of that. And then once I got the contracts, I was like, hey, who's selling these things? And they're like, oh, well, our dispo guy just left last week. And I was like, so who's selling these things? And it ended up nobody was selling them because a dude left. So I stepped up and I started selling the properties. After about a year of that, buying and selling properties for them, I actually jumped into doing my own flip while I was still with them. And long story short, flipped a few houses last year, and the bookkeeper / executive assistant for them, also my now business partner, her name is Catherine, and she's amazing. She's also my girlfriend, so I have nothing but nice things to say about her.
Of course. Yeah.
She said, Matt, I love the bookkeeping, but everything else sucks in this job. And I was like, well, let's start a bookkeeping business for real estate investors, right? Because I had known a bunch of real estate investors because I sold properties to them. I was still flipping houses. I still had their contact information. And so pretty much within 30 days, we had about 6 clients. And so when I say our business doubled, it didn't double too much. It's not a huge growth, but we're up to 11, 12 clients now.
Yeah.
And
it's growth.
Yeah, it's growth and we're doing well. We're going to be looking for some sales guys and some bookkeepers to add onto the team soon because we're growing. We hit our 6-month goal in like 90 days. So we figured out what our high impact areas are. Like, what are the things that, really create this business? And there are 8 areas. And we plan on doing an hour for each one, but because we're still so small, some of them we kind of combined. And then we threw in an hour for training because I do think it's important for both of us to train each other, on our different skills, because we do have different skills. Just be aware, have the self-awareness to know what you're good at and what you're not good at. If you're like Erik and you're scared of doing the books,
terrified.
Hire somebody for a few $100 to do it. If you're like Murray and hey man, this is my strength, I want to do this, do it, because you're going to have so many facets of your business that as you grow, you need to, I think this was hard for me. And I also believe it's hard for other people, is we think that we're the best at everything. You start to, and these small things just tend to creep into your brain. And I'm so keen on protecting my mindset and just keeping steadfast on those goals, walking the straight line, and just doing what it takes regardless of the results that are happening.